lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Well, hi everyone, I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop. Welcome back. I have another thrift haul for you. This time, I'm not even going to do the cup of coffee of the day. We're not going to do the zoom around and play old music. I'm just going to jump in because there's so much stuff, and I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long. Now, normally my thrift hauls have a little more of a, what should I say, organized look. This is just all over the place. So there might be something here for everyone. And maybe not. But we'll start off with this lovely portrait of two kittens right here, probably done in the 1960s or 70s. It's oil on board, I guess is what you say, not canvas. Is that right? You art folks can correct me. It isn't canvas. It's signed by Gigi. Don't know who Gigi was, but he or she, I think, did a very good job. What do you think? Brother and sister, or at least siblings, those kittens? It's a nice big size in an original frame. That's currently for sale in the Old Curiosity Shop. Just listed that this morning. All right, I don't know. We'll go way over here and we'll zip right through everything. From the mid-century 1960s are some very inexpensive made in Japan candle holders. These are just too cool. There's the original box. Capri, I think they're called, these candle holders. There were two candles in here originally on either side and they melted. So I had to throw them out. But here's what the little 1960s candle holders look like. Isn't that just phenomenal? Very cheaply made. This is just rolled foil, very delicate. But, I mean, that's about as mid-century as you're going to get. Love it. Also, these have a very Art Deco look, but I'm not quite sure they're from the 30s. It's Miro aluminum in really good shape. That's the cream and the sugar. Aluminum, but with a copper tint to the aluminum. Okay, so those are really nice. Some candle climbers here for Christmas time. These have nothing on the bottom. They may be homemade. These are definitely homemade and not something that I would normally buy, but I wanted the candle huggers and everything was in a bag together, so I got everybody. There's no chips or cracks on anything here, and when I turned this over, I saw that these are painted by Billy Olbrich on December the 25th, or given on December 25th, I guess, 1983. My great-grandmother's maiden name was Olbrich, and she came from Deutschland, and so that could be a distant cousin, who knows. Anyway, Billy Olbrich signed both of these. Anyway, if you're out there, Billy, I've got your Christmas decorations from 1984. This was free. It doesn't say anything. Is it Rubbermaid? I don't think it's Tupperware. It says nothing. So who made this? Anybody know? There's the cream and there's the sugar. I don't even know how to list it. I just don't even have no experience with stuff like this, but I like the color. This is Anchor Hocking. And I always pick up Anchor Hocking Fire King mugs because they're very collectible and I haven't seen this one before. Who can top the Irish when they're at the bottom of it all? Who can top the Irish when they're at the bottom of it all? May you be in heaven a half hour before the devil knows you're dead. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be drinking my coffee out of that, but anyway, it's kind of cute. That probably had a lid. I'm assuming it had a lid. I don't normally buy milk glass, but I know milk glass collectors are out there, so I'm going to try to get a few pieces now and then for you. I liked that because of that open lace work around the edges, and there is no damage on it, even though we're missing a lid. Wouldn't that still look nice at Christmas time, filled with candies such as multicolored spice drops? All right. Who is this? Well, I knew who he was the minute I saw the plate. Didn't even have to read. That's because my dad loved the U.S. presidents, and he was sort of an amateur U.S. presidential historian in his spare time, and so I knew that was poor old assassinated McKinley. Now, President McKinley was very popular at the time he was shot in 1901. The plate says, "It's God's way, His will be done." It's a very, very, very late Victorian way of looking at death. And we see he was born in 1843 and was assassinated, although it doesn't say assassinated on here. That's a bread plate. Turn of the century dinner tables always had glass plates for bread. Sometimes you'd see the Lord's Prayer. Sometimes there would be other depictions on the plates. This has very little value. I don't know who wants to eat their biscuits off of a depiction of an assassinated president, but I wouldn't mind passing around the cranberry bread on that at Thanksgiving. It's a conversation piece anyway. From about 1910 to about 1920, a beautiful frosted glass shade with its original, what am I trying to say? Fitter, which can be mounted to a light bulb if you wanted to, a light bulb socket. And that's in really beautiful shape. A lot of amber glass back here. Can you see that? Now, yeah, I'm really getting into amber glass this fall, and I'm having a good time with it as well. That's probably from the 50s or 60s. You recognize this. You've seen it in the Flashstone Ruby, right, as King's Crown or thumbprint. And that's a beautiful candy edition amber with its lid. I've got to get that listed. Then there are, let's get this guy out of the way, some swung vases back there, two smaller ones and one very large one. I'm not really good with my makers on swung vases because I am not terribly knowledgeable with 1960s glass. So I know there is a particular maker of that, and that sells very well with those. It's 3-footed, as you can see. I'm not going to get it up too far, but there we go. We'll just do that. So these will be listed very soon. It's hard for me to remember what's listed and what isn't, but I'm going to try to get everything listed today that's not already listed. The two green, let's move this guy. The two green student glass lampshades that you see in the back literally just sold about 20 minutes ago for $50. And they are the same size. These are for student lamps, oil lamps, hurricane lamps. You'll hear people call them all different kinds of things. And it's green glass, white cased glass with the emerald on the outside. That pair sold for $50. I paid $5 for the pair of those. Then there's a yellow one that I've just listed last night. That's also, I think, for a 7-inch fitter, and that should sell for, I don't know, $30 or $40. The yellow is a little harder to find. Don't be afraid to ship these. Just pack them well. You can make some money off of these student glass lampshades. I would stick away, what am I trying to say? I personally would stay away from some of the painted shades from the 70s, although there's value there, but I just happen to do better with these ribbed shades, especially if they have a swirl like this. They seem to bring higher prices. From the 1920s is a very colorful Enamelware turkey platter, which I'm going to be listing soon. Yes, that dates to the 20s, believe it or not. This is English Spode. It's a creamer in beautiful condition. I just listed that last night. Very pretty. You've seen that coffee pot before, I think. And this is the type where you put it on your stove and you allow the coffee to you pour the hot water in the top, spit it out, spit your coffee out, and then it drips through the coffee. Actually, the coffee grounds go in there, you pour the hot water in there, it sifts through there, and you have hot coffee. There's a name for it, gravity coffee? I don't know, that's not right. Drippolator is what some of the companies call the porcelain ones, but I don't remember, to be honest with you. This is neat, and I think it probably dates to the 30s or 40s, and it's a travel kit for a man. It is a men's shaving travel kit, and I will open it up There's the shaving brush and the mirror. Okay. All complete. And as I said, I think that dates to the 30s or 40s, maybe even the 50s. And then there are some restaurant-ware plates over here. I think maybe 10 of them. An original toy car box. There was a car in it, but it was not that car. I sold the car that was in here for about $35, but since the box is different, I'm just selling the box on its own. So if you've got the car, I've got the box. Talked about that. Here's a level, which I think I'm going to keep because I like old tools. And some old electrical things I already have listed. Knobs, believe it or not, little Bakelite knobs can sell for, you know, $20, $30. You might be surprised. Old light switch escutcheon plates, electrical gadgets. There's a market for that. Cat's paws, I'm selling these. Nylon heels, I love the box. Good to decorate with it Halloween if you want. That's to sweep your crumbs off the table into. It's in rough shape, but people like to decorate in that sort of rustic farmhouse look, so we'll see what happens with that. You saw me thrift those in the bin video, so you already had a close-up look at those little Japan vases. And then those two bud vases, I guess they're bud vases back there. Salt and pepper shakers, one for the queen, one for the king. Those are already listed. What am I forgetting? I know I'm skipping something. A pair of pajamas from the late 50s, probably early 60s, never been worn, still in the package. This is a size D, so if you're wondering, this is for a man with a 46 to 48 chest who weighs 185 pounds to 210 pounds. I would take a size B because I weigh 149 pounds, and that is soaking wet. Those don't fit me, but it's cool to find them new in the package. This was bought at the wonderful Philadelphia jewelry store called Bailey Banks in Biddle. It's been around for hundreds, well, we'll say 150 years. Famous in this area. It's monogrammed. I'm not sure what the monogram is, but this is gorgeous. Look at the beautiful purple silk on the inside. And we can see that it says Bailey Banks in Biddle, Philadelphia right there. We'll zoom in on it. You going to focus for me today? Okay, let's get you in the light and see if you'll focus for me today. There we go. And then underneath it says the Riviera Correspondence Wallet. The Riviera Correspondence Wallet. So you could put your postage stamps and maybe a business card in there, a calling card in there, and then all your stationery inside. Isn't that nice? Can't you see me now? I would be a hit walking into Starbucks and whipping this out to write my thank you cards. I'd be the envy of everyone there. A probably late Victorian, turn of the century, maybe even 1880s, 1890s, Walnut Shelf. Kind of small for a clock, but there were some clocks that would fit on a shelf like this. Larger ones were normally considered to be kitchen clock shelves, but you could use this anywhere in your house and put any piece of objet d'art that you wanted on top of that wonderful shelf made of walnut, which I have to do a little scratch cover on, and then I'll get that in the old curiosity shop. Now let me back up and see what I'm forgetting. I know I'm forgetting something. Hold on. Okay, I think that covers everything, and I know I went very quickly and probably didn't really go into much detail about some of the items, not like I usually do. But I'll tell you, I'm really anxious to go ahead and get these things, the rest of these things listed and in the shop, clear off this kitchen counter, because I've got a whole nother thrift haul to show you, filled with lots of great Depression glass that I just acquired over the weekend, and some other nifty things that I think you'll really enjoy. So welcome new subscribers and old subscribers. And I'll be doing a video hopefully in the next couple of days called This and That, where I'm going to be thanking some folks for some surprises that came in the mail. Also give you an update on some of the items that I showed you last week, maybe that I couldn't identify, or we just needed to go back and clarify some things on a few of the items that I showed you last week. And just do a little bit of this and that, have a little chat, okay? So that's coming up as well in the next couple of days. Thanks for watching and leaving comments and subscribing. Have a great weekend, everyone. If you're watching this on Saturday, it's Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching and so long for now.